What's going on, nation? It's time for us to do a little bit of a 180 from my last review of Mumford & Sons. Yeah. You gotta branch out sometimes. Don't look at me like that. But we're gonna do a 180. The album that we're gonna be talking about, it's up there in the title bar, so you already know. It's Legend by Sweden's own Witchcraft. Now, Witchcraft is a band that has certainly done their homework whenever it comes to Black Sabbath-style doom metal. Now, there's definitely some interwoven stoner rock in there, some stoner metal, some hard rock, and there's a little bit of psychedelia as well. However, this is something that's a little more apparent in their older work. It's somewhat present here. It's only more so in the stylings of kind of just using some ambient noise at the beginnings or middle or latter part of a recording, especially at the latter part to kind of extend it a little bit in order to really create that atmosphere that, well, Blazers might actually get trapped in for, well, quite a while, even though it only lasts about 20 seconds or so. Now, Witchcraft definitely studied Sabbathian era doom metal, if you really want to call it that. It's more of a hard rock slash doom metal sound, but it's definitely Sabbathian from the 1970s and the 1980s especially. And that whole entire era is kind of omnipresent on this record and throughout this band's discography. It's truly actually kind of cool because what you get with this is that you get an album full of solid, rock solid material. You don't really have any songs on here that you can really deem as disappointing. They're just maybe songs that are just a little bit you enjoy a little bit less than others. As a whole, really, whenever you listen to this record in its entirety, it flows very, very nicely. I really enjoy a lot of the second half of the album. Now, there's only one real difference in that, and I'm going to mention that here in a moment, but this is an album, like I said, that flows all the way through, but the second half really starts to crank it up a little bit. There's a touch more variety. There's variety with the first half also, but it's not nearly as magnificent as in the second half. But what this is going to be characterized is by a tempo change, definitely a slowdown, and the compositions start to become a little bit more eloquently stated. And that is something that's kind of very, very cool. The very last line of this album is also one that's very potent. If hell is a punishment, I await being there with you. Almost sounds kind of romantic in a way, which is kind of cool. In fact, the whole entire last song is kind of riddled with that a little bit. And I say riddled, and it's typically deemed as a negative word, but it's really just the best word to describe it. It's just kind of got this overlying overtone of maybe like sarcastic love. You could almost take it to and interpret it either way, that it's a positive theme song or one that is kind of negative. Now, the song that is right before this is entitled Dead End, and it is a 12-minute long epic track. And this is where things can be a little bit disconcerting for some people, because the middle part of this song is kind of more of a statement. It's kind of more of a band that's trying to make a little bit of a statement. Mainly because you have very minimal musicianship going on around it, and you're hearing minimal vocals. However, they are kind of done in these like very poignant and very expressive short little verses that is trying to deliver a thought or a really deep expansive conversation piece. I guess killer, you know what I mean? They're talking about how certain things are a certain way, even though they are believed to be otherwise. It's kind of a declaration of sorts. Now, this is nice. This idea is nice. However, the problem with it is that this little idea kind of extends a little bit too long into this song. Now, I understand it's kind of a statement song, and really the low-key version of the musicianship is supposed to be an atmosphere setter, and typically I'm all for that, but this is one where it just seems like it's a little bit overdone. There's too much of a peculiar nature to this that just, you scratch your head more than you can, like, resolve yourself and get into it. So the second part of this song, the latter portion of this song, is definitely one that makes up for it. And really Dead End can't be considered to be a disappointment because the latter part of the song is very triumphant. I really like that much. And really, like I said, I don't mind the song as a whole. It's just that it seems a little bit more too extensive in the middle part there, trying to make these like poignant statements and do this like minimal musical idea, especially whenever you listen to the remainder of the album, which is laden with doom metal riffs, with that stoner metal grease that you kind of really enjoy, and the vocals are fantastic. Overall, this is a very solid record, you know, and Dead End just seems to be a lackluster epic. Because whenever you look at this, you're thinking to yourself, 12 minutes after, you know, the 4 or 5 to nearly 6 that you've heard before this, damn, this is going to be something else. And it gets to be something else about 10 to 11 minutes in, but the first 6 or so can be a little bit trying, so just have a little bit of patience. Overall, I enjoyed this release. This is something that I just sort of saw and figured, what the hell? And, well, I'm kind of happy that I did that, you know. These guys definitely are quickly establishing themselves as an important facet to this new era of doom metal. I mean, we can't have Candlemass and them forever, and, well, we don't have Candlemass anymore, which is just kind of sad. However, I like this album a lot. I'd probably give it about an 8.25 out of 10. You might say, Coverkiller, that seems a little low. No, not at all. I really like this. It's solid, but like I said, it's not going to set too many people's worlds on fire. It's just good, solid doom metal music, and something where they definitely worship the ground that Sabbath walked on and expanded upon it. Definitely have a lot of respect for the roots of doom, and it really shows itself on this record. So definitely go check this out. Check out Legend by Witchcraft today. You will not regret it, especially if you're a fan of the genre. And I will talk to you guys next time. Peace.